And we're alive! Hello and welcome to my live session. Today I will talk a little bit about the American Independence Day, which is today, and about how free are people in the United States. Hello! Thank you so much for joining. I thought today I talk a little bit about the post that I shared about 2 hours ago, and also a little bit about Dear White People. I am not sure if you're familiar with the show, but it was really, I'm not completely done watching it yet. And I know I'm a white person, so I probably cannot really know how they feel or what they go through, but I have black people as friends. And I even have a transgender friend, and it was really hard for me, when she told me that she had to choose whether to be her true self or stay connected to her family, because she really loved her parents and she still does, but she didn't feel as living as a man anymore. So she decided to, she was struggling and she told me about it, and she was like, I really didn't know what to do. And I wanted to die, maybe even. And I was really shocked, and I was like, I have no idea how I could help her with that. And I'm so happy that now she is at the point in her life where she found a community who love her for just the way she is. And so it's really, for me, like, completely, how could someone not accept others? So I think shows like Pose are so important to show people who don't have a transgender friend like me, who they could talk to, and who give them the information, like what they went through. That people at least can watch it on TV, and then it maybe become more real to them. Because somehow I think some people, just like with the coronavirus, they're like, I have never seen it, so it cannot be real. And it's important that these people speak up and that they say, hi, I'm here and I do matter. And so it was really, really heartbreaking for me to listen to her, and like the way she was just so struggling, because I think that no one has to think about, should I pretend to be someone I'm not because I fear of losing my family, or should I be myself? I think people should not have to decide, Family should be here to embrace each other. And I think that's what a country is supposed to do as well. And the leader of a country is supposed to be like the father or the mother of his or their children, and a leader of a country should take care of them. And that's not what's happening in the US right now, and in several other countries as well. I'm talking about a transgender friend of mine, and how she had to choose whether to be herself, because she came to a point where she was like, I don't want to continue living my life as a man. I want to live as a woman. And she had to make this decision, but she was like, I can't continue living my life as a man anymore, because that's not me. That doesn't feel right. But she was like, she had to choose between being her true self and her family. And her family kicked her out. So she has no contact to her family anymore. So to her parents. I'm really, really glad that she found a place somewhere else and she found a community of people who love her, because she was at a point where she was like, am I not worthy? Does my life not matter? And I don't think no one has to go to such a point in their lives, you know? No one should have to decide, can I really be myself? Or it's just so sad, because she told me that she's really, she misses her parents, but I don't want to talk to her anymore. And so that just makes me sad, really. It does. Yeah, the coronavirus is very scary. I'm just reading your comments. Yeah, so I'm really, really proud of her, that she is so strong. And what I really don't get is that there is a president who ignores how bad the pandemic is right now. And I don't know if there's a... Mary, maybe you can tell something about it. Is there any celebration that he's doing, or any big press conference? I saw yesterday he was doing having a photo shoot at the Mount Rushmore, and he used to make everything seem so small and like he has it all under control. And I think that he clearly hasn't. The only thing that he is capable of, in my opinion, is how to tweet. And I don't know why he wants to take away human rights, like of free speech and healthcare. I mean, it's important. And thinking about, especially right now, you know, there's this pandemic going on, and he just says, no, transgender cannot be in shelters when they're homeless or they can't get medical treatment anymore. And he's not, like, the LGBTQIA plus community, they don't deserve to be treated. And I'm just like, what? This cannot be true. I mean, every person, we all breathe the same air, we bleed the same blood, we live on the same planet. There is just one human race, and it just makes me sad that someone can be really saying that, meaning this, like, seriously. And because it just feels so much like this is a joke, you know? And I have friends, I have Black friends, and they so often get rejected. Like, one of my best friends always has to do the work that no one else can do, and or wants to do, you know? So she's teaching kids, she's teaching elementary kids who need special help because they cannot follow in their school. So so she gives them special help and support. And she usually gets those where the parents send the kids in and say, this girl has to write an A next week, and currently she's at a D. So, and when my friend can do that in one day, then the parents get incredibly mad at her for not doing her job right. And that's racist. Because they would never say that to her if she were white. And stuff like that. So, as you know, I live in Germany. So this happens in Germany. It's not the racism thing is not only happening in the US, it's also happening in other countries as well. Every resident gets treatment in the United States. That's great. And I really, really hope that it stays like that. Because nobody can choose their skin color. And nobody can choose, well, now I want to be gay. Now I want to be straight. You know? That's not something that people can just decide. And birth gender. I mean, that's just what we're born with. And skin color. So it shouldn't be a privilege to be white or a bad thing to be black. Like black people always assume to do all the terrible stuff and they're all thieves, and no. I mean, there can be bad black people, and there can be also bad white people. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't want to say that all black people are angels, in fact, and all white people are the criminals. I don't want to say that. It's just the skin color doesn't matter how a person is like. And it's nothing that a person can choose, but every person can choose the actions that they're taking. So will I want to listen to other people? Will I watch shows like Pose or like Dear White People? Will I get to know these things? Because I probably have been maybe accidentally said anything racist, and I wasn't even aware of that. Yesterday I read a post that says I shouldn't call, or in general, it wasn't addressed to me, but white people shouldn't address black people as colored people, because it usually divided them. They had colored bathrooms and they had white bathrooms, and it's just like it separates them. And I thought I might say colored people because I don't want to exclude any other skin color. So I was just referring to every non-white color. And so I'm sorry to my black friends that I have used the colored people term, but I'm here to learn, and I want to listen to people, and I want to do things right, and I know that I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to tell people what they have to do or what they have to say, or I just really want to listen to my friends, and I want to support them as best as I can. And that's why I thought I have to do this right now, and I have to talk about this, because this is such a special topic, and I know it's an issue that maybe not everyone wants to talk about. You know, there are many people like, oh, I don't want to hear anything about that. I mean, I don't want to have to do anything about that. I don't know any black people. I don't deal with this, so it's not my cup of tea, or I don't know. But it's so important, because we all, like I said before, we all live on the same planet, and I think that everyone should be included and everyone should be accepted for just the way they are. And that's right now is a big issue, because it seems to be so hard, and especially under this president who says it's okay, or like the black people are threatening the white people, or I don't really understand his logic. Sometimes he seems to say like, today he's saying this, and the next day he's saying that. And I think maybe this is why he's so, let's just say, popular, because he wants to please everyone, you know? So one day he says what this group of people wants to hear, and then the other day he says something quite the opposite, like to please someone else, and then more people can relate to it. But it's not really authentic, and it clearly shows that he has no idea what he's doing. So I'm just saying, I don't really hate him. I don't think that he acts in the best interest of the American people. I think that he just wants to do whatever is best for him. And I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to say, but I really, really fear that, especially because he always gets so mad when people are criticizing him. And I heard people saying that, well, we're patriotic, so we love our country. But loving a country means for me that I am allowed to question my leader, because I want to know, what's best for the country. And I think what I said, a leader, a president, has to be like a father or a mother and take care of their children. And not just things, okay, they're paying taxes, so I can fly from one super hotel to the next and with the Air Force One or whatever, and I get paid and I get everything and they get nothing, because I take away their health care, and I say that we're restricting social media or anything, that maybe only he is allowed to tweet, and his Twitter is the only place where people should get information. And will he control the media? Because he says everything is fake news. And the New York Times is fake news, and I don't know, everything except for Fox, I guess. Fox is like his network somehow, I don't really know. And I really, really hope that people will see that right now. I think that if he will lose the election, I somehow think that he manages to win again, because it seems so so far away. Like the idea that he will be president for another 4 years, but going back 4 years, I was at the same place. So I just think, okay, I think about that he might get reelected somehow. I don't, but I really, really hope not. The governments of each state, yeah. I really, really, I mean, Mary, what do you think? Do you feel like he will be reelected again? Or, you're in the US, so you probably get more information than I do. So, I just read from the New York Times every now and then, and I get lots of stuff here on Instagram and also on Twitter, but I think it's maybe a little bit different when you're actually in the country. I have also friends in the US, I have family members in the US, which makes me so sad and mad at the same time, because it feels like the US goes back in its development, And I don't really know. Usually I try to understand how someone thinks like he's thinking. But I really can't understand why he's against gays, why he's against black people, why he's against women, against poor people. So I read that he's bullying the German Chancellor Merkel on the phone, and he was saying really mean and nasty things to her. I don't really know what, but I heard that he's on the phone usually very mean to other people. And it's also, maybe people don't really dare to say anything against him because they know that he is rich, so he can pay people to do certain things. And maybe he thinks that this is actually like how it works, You just pay people and then they do everything you want them to do. And it's sad. And I don't really like people in general who think they're better than other people, no matter because of their skin color or their gender or their job position or I don't really know. There are a million things that people think they're better than other people. And I think that we are all equal. And imagine Trump has to live like a black man. He wouldn't survive a single day. And he would get totally mad all the time, probably, because he couldn't handle it. I mean, right now, he is questioned and he gets lots of critique. But he's always just getting mad because he feels attacked when he's criticized. And a leader has to take that criticism. I am already criticized so much and judged by other people, and I'm not a popular person. Not many people know who I am, or not many people care who I am because I'm not a celebrity. But even I have to deal with judgment, like all the time. And I know that I'm not black, but you know, there are lots of different reasons why I am judged. Once because my social anxiety, for example, or that I'm not married or don't have children and don't even plan that, but I'm already in my 30s. Isn't that really comparable to how black people are treated? But I think everyone deals with criticism every day. And I cannot get mad at every person, you know? Sometimes I just have to listen and get their point of view and then think about it. And we're all humans, we make mistakes, and that's okay, and you can admit it. And even as a president, it's actually a strength to admit, yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I did something wrong. But how can he say he has everything under control and the numbers of cases are still increasing? And there are riots, there are demonstrations on the street. People say, hey, I matter. Not only the rich white man does, I matter too. So now I have to listen what Mary wrote very quick. You also think you will be reelected. Is much worse. Okay. Well, yeah. I am very positive about that we have to deal with 4 more years of Trump presidency. I think it's hard to really know what's going on in his head. And I think is a little bit... Sometimes I think he doesn't really know what he's doing. So he just, pays that person, give me that advice, give me that advice, give me that advice. And I've never seen a president changing so many people working for him, like his staff. There are like constantly new people around. So I think he must be very, very hard to deal with. And yes, I think you're right that he's not to underestimate because he became president. I mean, that's something to achieve. But like I said, I think that mostly he won because of his inconsistency. Because he says these things to them and these things to them. You think he really knows what he's doing? But why does he say that the pandemic isn't a problem at all and he has it all under control? Why does he lie so much? Like almost every day. I think the Washington Post was it. I'm not quite sure if they were the ones, but there was something who figured out how many days since his presidency started that he lied. And it was like at least one lie every day. So there were like maybe 3 or 4 days that he didn't share a lie on Twitter. So I am really Why? And why is he so discriminating? He really discriminates other people, and he doesn't really accept other people. So that's really, I don't really know the English term for it right now. But maybe Eddie can help me here, or Selena, I don't know. But what is unberechenbar in English? Maybe you know that, and you can type it for me in the comments, because I don't really know right now. But it's like, you don't really know what he's doing next, you know? I cannot think like, what might be coming next? I'm like constantly shocked whenever he's doing something. I'm like, he didn't say that. He, like, you know, government issues. He's not a medical doctor, but yeah. But I think as a leader of a country, he should. I mean, I know that he isn't a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor either. And but as a president, I think he has to listen to several doctors, and I know there are many out there who said how dangerous this pandemic is, and this virus, and so unpredictable, right? Unpredictable. That's the word. Yeah, he's so unpredictable. Yeah, sometimes when I read a word, that I'm like, oh yeah, right, that's it. Yeah, but it's just, yeah, I mean, it's not always easy to follow rules, but great. You also, Selena also checked to help me with the English word. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. Yeah, he's really like an unpredictable person. And yeah, he often just leaves me speechless. Yeah, right. People won't listen. And I think that, I mean, I've seen a picture of our Chancellor Merkel wearing a mask. And maybe, just maybe, people see that and think, hey, she's wearing a mask. Maybe I should wear one too. Because, like I said, he has to act like a parent for the country. You know, he has to be a role model. So, and when people see that he's not wearing a mask and he's not practicing any social distancing, then why should I do that? So, because I don't really like wearing the mask either. I'm honest with you. I was shopping before today, and I had to wear a mask, and I sweat underneath it. It's Donald Trump. Yeah, we're talking about Donald Trump. But it's important, and I know that it's important, and I think sometimes it's just important again to explain people why they have to do it, you know? Not just say you have to wear a mask, but you're protecting others by wearing a mask, and others wear a mask to protect you. And they have to realize, you know, with all these aerosols that are spreading in the air, which contain viruses, and when they talk, some of them leave their mouth and go maybe on your face or something, and you can have that infect, or you can get that virus. And I think as a president, he is in charge to also be like a teacher to some point, you know, to get the information, to talk to some experts, and then to pass on this information to other people or to his people. And That's what I think should a president do. So, like I said, I don't hate him. I just think that he should listen more to his people and actually do what they want. And I feel like for me, it seems like he's just doing what he wants and what is best for him. And that's, in my opinion, not what a president is about. And I really, really hope that he doesn't continues to try taking away other people's rights. And I hope that even if he tries, that he will fail. That there will be always a court stopping him from doing that. Because, I mean, it's in your constitution that every human is equal, right? Something like that. And I think the US was the first country that actually had this in their constitution. And I know that these all usually, or back then, meant all white men. But now I think we are at a point where it should be that he, you know, kudos to Supreme Court. Yeah, he's trying to save, like, not take rights away. But he wants to give homeless people, like transgender people. Okay, I'm open. That's why I'm doing this, Mary. That's why I want this conversation, you know? He's better than, when he's better than I think, then I'm relieved, honestly. It's just what I see. I mean, here in Germany, there are people who gets all this picture, what I get, what I tell you, this is how people in Germany see him. I mean, I know that I don't get all the information. That's why I want to talk. And that's why I love to talk to American people, because I also talked to someone who voted him. So I don't hate him, and I just think that everyone should, you know, that it's okay to question and to think if what he's doing is the right thing to do. And this is what I'm telling you is how I see him. So when he's not that bad, I'm relieved. I'm really relieved, because I want the best for the American people. Like I said, I have friends there, I have family there. And I know that many people don't really want to talk about politics because it's like, you know, something that you're not really want to talk about, because I don't want to start an argument or anything. I just want to talk and learn and get other opinions about it, or you know, I just want to have a conversation, and I'm really, really glad that you all are here and want to participate. So yeah, we also agree that Trump will be president for another 4 years. So I think that's definitely happening. And I also honestly don't think that he has bad intentions. I think that he really wants to, like I said, please the most people as possible. It's just, sometimes it just seems like, you know, the way he uses words, and that he often feels, you know, when he's criticized, that he often is like mean to other people, you know? That's something like, why would he have to do that? That's just something that, you know, it's just sometimes when he says things, it feels like a punch in my face, even though I am not the one he's addressing it to. You know what I mean? But when he says, like, the shelter thing is just something that I read today. I don't really know if it's true or not, but that he said that when people are homeless, they are only cisgenders are allowed to be in these shelters, and transgenders should be rejected. That's something I read. I don't know if this is true, but if this were true, I would be like, what? Why? Because I think America is the land of the free. That's how it claims to be. So, excluding people and giving only to certain people the privilege to have one thing, that's not how it works. And yeah, being president is the worst job ever. I have seen Veep, I have seen The Politician, and I'm glad that such shows exist, because you cannot make it big in politics when you're friendly. I know that. You have to be mean, you have to be reckless, you have to... Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So I could never, ever be a politician. Never, ever. So maybe he got elected because he is not the typical politician, and people actually... So the one I talked to who told me that he voted him, he was like, well, politicians are often like, you know, you can buy their opinion or something. And he really wanted to vote for someone who was not the typical politician, because he thought that maybe someone from like the main people, I don't really know how to say it, that he would make an actual change and he would make a difference. So, yeah, but don't jump off a bridge. Yeah, I could never do that. I think that mostly politicians have to find out what gives them the most votes, and then they have to say that, even they don't believe it, or they don't want to follow that thing that they say they want to do. They just want the people to vote for them, and then they do whatever gets the most votes, or whatever gets the most recognition, or make people talk about him. So he's certainly a politician that people from every country in the world knows. And it's the last, yeah, I think so. I think so too. He was friendly, sweet people. He didn't even... What? Rupal, what are you talking... Who are you talking about? There was one in India. Was the best anyone could have. Yeah. You know, there are lots of people also talking about Obama being a super president. And I also read that, well, he wasn't always flawless, and he also did some bad stuff. And yeah, of course. I mean, we're all human beings and we all make mistakes, and that's all okay. I just think it's important to, to give everyone equal rights, and to treat everyone with respect and to listen. And that's what we're doing here, you know. We're having a conversation, and everyone has the right to have their opinion, and it's great that we are not that we don't all think the same way. We all come from different backgrounds, we have different experiences, and I think listening to all people and give everyone the chance to say something really pushes the whole country forward, you know, because everyone sees a different angle, a different perspective, and puts other thoughts in it, other experiences, and questions different things, and it's all good, because one person cannot oversee it all. It's just way too big. Because of the black votes, he did okay business. No, definitely not. I think as the first black president, it was definitely a big thing, especially for the black community. That's for sure. So, and now they maybe see another rich white man. So I just really hope that sometimes I wish that Trump would think more of how he uses words. Because maybe I am so sensitive about this because I'm a writer and I know how powerful words can be. And maybe I'm just a little bit too sensitive about it. And maybe we live in a political correctness world where people like exaggerate very easily or feel offended or whatever. So certainly that's a point. But often when I read things, I'm just like, I cannot even say an example right now. I don't really follow him, but you and I should be running things. Yay. We're doing this. We're keeping things on the right track. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not perfect either. So I do make mistakes. I am here to learn, and I wanna listen to everyone, and I wanna understand everyone's point of view. And I really hope that it stays that way. And maybe because I am also so anxious because of the German history. I've had that in school, not only once. And I think that Germans are often reminded somehow that maybe people from other countries still refer to all Germans as Nazis. And maybe that's just something that just sticks with me. And I'm just like, I don't want what my ancestors had to go through. I don't want that happening to the US right now. Maybe I just see it like in a blurred, filtered way, and I'm acting a little bit extreme sometimes because of that background knowledge. Because I don't really want Americans to go through what Germany went through like 80, 90 years ago. So I'm really concerned, but I really hope for the best. I really, really do, because I love my American friends. I love my American family. And yeah. Yeah, all countries are that way. It's like I said, we also have racism in Germany. And in India, I don't know, in so many other countries. It's not only the US, but for some reasons, maybe because they have Hollywood and they have so many celebrities, that the focus is a lot on the American people. And they're like seen as role model for other people, and they're like constantly in the focus. Like people look, what does America do? And maybe also because they have so many celebrities and some of them share their political opinion. And then their fans from other countries, they're like, oh, what's happening in the US again? Oh, what they're doing. And but in other countries, it's the same. Maybe not to that extent, but every country has its issues, and nothing is perfect. But that's not what... So sometimes it just makes me like the racism thing. I have friends who say, the US, they're all so racist. And I'm just like, wait, what? No! Some people maybe, yeah. Or not maybe, some people, yeah. But also in Germany, they are racist people. And then she's like, now you want to tell me that we're all Nazis? That's just not true. And I'm just like, no. You can't just say that all people of all country are like this or like that. That's just labeling people again. That's why I have issues with labeling people. I mean, when I label myself, that's a different thing. But I don't want other people to label me. To say, oh, she's the shy girl. Oh, she's the one with social anxiety. Or she is, I don't know. She's the blonde one, so she's dumb. I don't know. Or she's a white girl, so she's a privileged one. She probably thinks she's better than us or something like that. I don't want to be labeled. So I have an issue labeling people or being labeled. So, but I also get that some people, you know, label themselves because it sometimes feels good to be part of something, you know, that you have a word which makes you feel home. You know what I mean? So yeah, in Germany, blondes are dumb. That's actually a saying. I have no idea where that comes from, but yeah, that's what is said here. I don't really know if that's in other countries as well, but in Germany it's like, oh, blonde equals dumb. I don't really know. Germany history next goal, and I'm really excited to finally learn some of the history of the country. Yeah, this the Second World War is a big topic in German history. I mean, our ancestors started both world wars. What does that say about Germans? I don't really want to know. But the second one was about the blinds, really. Yeah, that's oh, the blondes, okay. Yeah. I think it was also a little bit mentioned in Legally Blonde. Most of you might be too young to know this movie, but with Reese Witherspoon. But there also people thought, oh, that's the blonde dumb girl with the dog in the bag. And she was actually pretty smart. So, yeah. I don't really know. Sometimes people just say bad things to other people to hide their own insecurities or flaws, I guess. So maybe there was a theory that I had when I read about Trump's father never really accepted him. So maybe he was always trying to push and to do everything that he could to make him like him. And maybe he really tries the best or he's really focused in make everyone like him. So while reading the history, I think every country has a bad part of history, you know, that he doesn't, or that the people don't really want to talk about, but it's part of the way the country developed and how they made it to that point. So yeah, that's what I meant. We're all people. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. But we really have to look out for each other. And instead of continuously focusing on what makes us different, we should focus on what makes us the same. And I don't know if any one of you read my blog post about the look is not really that important. And I often wonder why people so much focus on looks, you know. Oh, he looks like that. Oh, she looks like that. And I don't really, what do I care about looks? Looks is just like a shell, you know? The eyes can be manipulated so easily. Not only actors know that, you know? I could dress like a ballerina, and then I could dress like a biker girl, and then I could braid my hair and wear a flower dress, and or pretend to be a boss lady or whatever. And people who don't know me, who just see a picture of me being dressed like that, they will see me as totally different person all the time. And so the look doesn't matter. Beauty lies within, Raya says it. And that's so important, because the character matters the most. What's inside. Have the good intention, and just everyone, for me, deserves the right. Yeah, at least Mary is adorable. I don't know all Americans, but you are. Yeah, so it's just important. I think everyone has the right to be their true selves. And it's okay if you're gay. It's okay if you're straight. It's okay if you're black, if you're white. No color on your body makes a difference. It doesn't matter if you're disabled somehow, if you can't hear, if you can't see. But everyone can feel. That's the only sense no one can live without. And we all feel, and we all should feel loved and included. Because that's important, and that's what makes us human. And that's why I think it's more important than how someone looks. It's how someone acts, and what he says, and how he, everyone. I think people should not be afraid of who they are. Like my friend, like my transgender friend who I talked about in the beginning. She should not have to choose, do I stay with my parents, or do I be my true self? No one has to make that decision. And there are so many gays as well who don't dare to say, hey, I love the same gender. Because they fear of being kicked out by their family. And I think I would not know how I would react. I don't really... If I would tell my parents that I would decide to continue my life as a man, I'm not really sure. It's unpredictable again. I cannot say what they will do. I mean, I don't really believe that they would kick me out. I don't. But it's just something, I think it's so important that we're all connected. We have the internet. So we get to know so many people. And I think it's important that they show who they are, that we can connect with them, that we can see these people are actually out there. And I think that Hollywood has to show these characters. And not only make shows like Will and Grace are great, that you can see, okay, gay people are not always like wearing glitter, glamour, dresses, they can be dressed like a street man, let's just say it like that. I hope you know what I mean. And you don't really see that some people are gay. And that's not important. Important to know is that they're here and that they're part of our community. And gay people should not only be in shows that are labeled, this is a show for gays, or this is a show for disabled, or this is a show for black people. I would love to have more diversity and inclusion in every show. I mean, why was that the only LGBTQ representation I recall on Big Bang was Lakshmi in season 5? Were there any in 12 seasons? Any other LGBTQ representation on Big Bang? It's one of the things that I really criticize about the show, as much as I love it. But I think at some point they were just that popular that they were mostly focusing on keeping the most audiences, the most people watching them. Sorry for that quick break. But we're also done in a bit. But that's just something that I really, because it's everywhere, and gay people should be included, not only on gay shows. We don't need that label. This is a gay movie, or this is a gay this, or he's a gay actor, or no, he's an actor, period. And this is a show with a gay character, with a character in general, you know? I have a show inspired by Jim and Todd, which I started writing almost 8 years ago, and I want to start writing it again, or continue writing on it, which is called Artists of Life, and it's about Gary and Brand. They're the main couple in this, and I don't plan to introduce them as a gay couple. They're just a couple. They're just a couple living together. And I want to write that show with a transgender person, with a non-binary person, with a demisexual person, with an asexual person. Because these people do not have any representation on TV. I'm sure that many people never heard the word demisexual, or they think, what's with Demi Lovato? But it has nothing to do with Demi Lovato. But yeah, I think that people should be more included in other shows. And I really miss that LGBTQ representation on Big Bang as well as on other shows. Because I think they're a part of our society. And they're a part, and they have to be everywhere. And it doesn't matter how big a show is, especially after 12 years or something. It just doesn't make sense that I've never, but okay. I don't want to rant about this. Hi, Laura. No worry. We're done right now. The hour is almost over. And I will end this now. So you can watch this if you want to, on demand. Thank you guys so much for watching, for joining me today. It meant so much. And if you want to, we can do this anytime again. I had so much fun today. And B99 is a good show. Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't started watching it yet, but I've heard it from so many people. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this too. It was great. And I really loved it. Thank you so much. And have a good 4th of July anyway. We're hoping for the best. Stay human. And yeah. Thank you so much. Stay wonderful. Stay amazing. I love you. Bye.